Reality TV producers. What's the absolute worst thing you've seen on set? I just graduated film school and was so excited to finally be working in television. The head producer was a woman named Diane who had a reputation for making hit shows. She sat me down on my first day and explained how things worked. Our job is to give America a show worth watching. Sometimes that means pushing people a little bit. You understand? I nodded because I wanted to impress her. We had 20 women competing for one guy who was good looking but pretty boring. Diane said our job was to make it interesting. Last year we had 2 contestants fight and one girl ripped off another one's eyebrow, she said. I want to top that. The first week of filming I noticed the contestants were always drinking. There was alcohol everywhere, and the producers kept refilling their glasses, even when the women said they'd had enough. I asked Diane about it and she laughed. Drunk people make better television. It's reality TV 101. By week 2, I was assigned to work closely with one of the contestants named Kira, who was sweet and a little shy. Diane told me to become her friend and get her to open up. Find out her weaknesses, what makes her cry, what she's insecure about. I need to know everything. I spent hours talking to Kira and she told me about her anxiety and how she'd had panic attacks in the past. She said she was on medication, but they'd taken it away when she got to set. I reported this back to Diane like I was supposed to. We've got to go bigger, Diane said. The next day, Diane set up a challenge where all the women had to do public speaking in front of a huge audience. Kira started hyperventilating on stage and collapsed. Diane kept the cameras rolling the entire time. When I tried to go help her, Diane grabbed my arm. Let her finish the breakdown. This is gold. Week 3 got worse. Another contestant came to me crying and said she needed to go home because the environment was destroying her mental health. I brought her to Diane thinking she'd understand. Instead, Diane sat her down and pulled out her contract. You see this? If you leave, you're in breach. We'll sue you for every penny you have and every penny you'll ever make. Is that what you want? She stayed and I watched her deteriorate every single day after that. Week 4, Diane called me into her office. I need you to tell Kira that one of the other girls called her pathetic behind her back. Say she told everyone Kira is faking her anxiety for camera time. I asked if that was true and Diane smiled. Does it matter? We need drama. Make it believable. I did what she said and hated myself for it. Kira and the other contestant got into a screaming fight that turned physical, pulling hair and clawing at each other. We filmed the entire thing. Diane was thrilled. This is exactly the kind of content that gets us renewed, but I want more. By week 5, the contestants looked like completely different people. They were barely sleeping because we'd wake them up at 3 in the morning for surprise dates and challenges. Kira had lost so much weight her clothes were hanging off her. She had dark circles under her eyes and wouldn't stop shaking. I tried to slip her some food during a break and Diane caught me. If you undermine my production one more time, you're fired, and I'll make sure you never work in this industry again. Week 6 was finale week. I got to set Monday morning and Kira hadn't shown up for her call time. I knocked on her room door and there was no answer. I knocked again and called her name. Nothing. I had a spare key for emergencies, so I opened the door. Kira was lying on the bathroom floor surrounded by empty pill bottles. I screamed and ran to her, but when I touched her skin, it was cold. I called for help and within minutes there were medics and producers everywhere. They tried to revive her, but she was already gone. I was sobbing hysterically while they took her body away. After the ambulance left, I went looking for Diane. She was in her office on the phone with someone from the network. I could hear her saying, "We can spin this. Tragic ending to the season. The ratings will be incredible." When she hung up, I told her we needed to shut down production immediately and tell people what had really been happening on this set. She looked at me coldly. "Sit down." I sat and she pulled up my contract on her computer. "You signed an NDA on your first day. You also signed a non-compete. If you say one word publicly about what happened here, we will sue you for millions of dollars. You'll lose everything and you'll never work in entertainment again. Do you understand?" I asked, "What about Kira and what about telling the truth?" Diane leaned back in her chair. Kira signed a contract too. She knew what she was signing up for. This is reality television. Sometimes people can't handle it. I sat there realizing I was completely trapped and there was nothing I could do to make this right. Full story on the channel below.